Hi guys, and welcome to Java tutorial of a calculator developed using Eclipse. So let me show you guys how this works. I'm going to clear that and let's enter some other data in there. Let's say 45 divided by 8. There we go. Plus minus. Multiply that by 9 there. And we can clear the whole entry or use the backspace. There we go, guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys into Eclipse development environment and we'll put one of these together. Let's do that now, guys. Hi guys, and welcome to Java tutorial of a calculator to be developed using Eclipse. I'm going to start by clicking on File and let's create new. We'll call that, let's select Java projects and we'll give that a name. And just for your information, this is my second channel. Alright, for those of you who regularly watch DJ Oamen's channel, this is Paul Oamen, the owner of DJ Oamen's channel. Okay guys, so I'm going to click on next. There we go. So in here, that's where my solution, everything will be. So I might as well just click on finish. Right, and right up there is the calculator project pack. So I'm going to right click on it and let's select new again and we click on other right there. Now right inside other, for those of you who has installed window builder, I do have a tutorial on DJ Oamen's channel on how to reinstall your window builder right here. Now once your window builder is installed, all you need to do is come right here and select swing builder, and there the choice is yours. You either select application window or I'm just going to select the frame. Select frame and click on next. Now let's give our project a name. I'm just going to call it calculator right there, and the package name as well. I might as well call that calculator and just click on finish there. All right, the environment is ready, so I'm going to click on design. You guys might not be able to see the design. Let's do something so that you can see it. I'm going to minimize it. All right, I guess you can see the design now. Okay, so I will now size this very form how I want, but before then let's right click on it and let's select set layer. I'm going to make that absolute layer. There we go. Now to minimize this very form you guys are looking at, I'm just going to reduce the width and increase the height. So let's come straight to the source code right there. That is the form that you guys are looking at. Now the 100 by 100, those are the coordinates. When I click on run, you end up seeing the form somewhere, on the screen, just about that. Okay, as for the 450, that is the width and this is the height. So I want to make that height about 500, and here let's change this one to about 400 and see how that's going to look like. Now click on design. There we go. Look at that. Okay, we can start work with the interface implementation now. So let's come in here and add, I think it's called text. Let's see, is it text field or text area? Let's see, I think it's text field. Click on the text field and just drag it here. Field, there we go. Now I have my text field in place. I'm going to increase the size of that text field to about that much. Take it up. Okay, that is fine, looking good. All right, now let's add some buttons. Let's go for J button here. Have a button there and just drag this button that much. Okay, I'm going to need about 4 across, so let's copy this, copy and paste. All right, maybe we should increase the size of these buttons anyway. Okay, that much, and let's see. I might as well copy this one and I've just increase the size. Yeah, copy that. So I have to now grab that, copy, paste. I have 4. All right, so let's rearrange the whole lot. Maybe increase this a little bit more. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. I'm now going to copy every single one of those buttons. Control C, Control V, and paste. Does it work for here? I don't know. Okay, copy and paste. Now I have it. Let's add some more. Okay, now let's add a couple more. Paste and just there we go. Right. Okay, now I'm going to run it. I just want to see how it's going to look like. Click on OK. All right, this is how it's looking now, guys. Maybe we should add a little bit of more room here and increase the size of this a little bit more. Okay, so we can just take care of that. So let's go back to the codes right here. So right inside the code, if you guys can still remember, the font size was the length was 500 plus, so I'm going to make that about, let's say, 540. There we go, and go back to the design view. Come right down. We seem to have a little bit more room so to maneuver. So I'm going to come in here and just select it all and do it. Just take it down a little bit more. There we go. Pull that down, and I will also need to increase the size of this a little bit more. Right. Okay, let's come straight to the properties now. You see the properties for this text field is called. I am going to come in here. You see the align? I'm going to get it right. Okay, make the alignment right. Now the font size. Let's increase the font size. Instead of 11, I'm going to make that about maybe 24. Bold. There. And that is that. So the next thing I want to do now is to increase the font size of each button. So select it all. And right here, the font, click on the font and let's make that 24 as well. I think we should make it bold. 24 bold. Bring this down. There we go. Okay, guys, now let's number each of these buttons. So I'm going to select that. Let's look for the text. I think that is it right there. Let's change that to 7. Let me collapse this. That is 7 there. The next one here. The next one, I'm going to make that 0. That'll be 8, 9. And right here, I'm going to enter the plus sign here. Click on this. Come right down here. Plus. And here, let's go for a minus or subtraction. Then we'll have 6 here. There. And right underneath here, that's we make that division. And here, I'm going to make that this very one equals. So this will be very handy for those who are actually, in fact, those who are learning from beginning. This tutorial is very good for you guys. That's why I'm showing each stage of the implementation. All right, that is it, all done. Now right up here, I'm going to change that to, let's go for C, E, and here will be C. And here, that's going to be my backspace. But here, I'm going to use plus minus there. Plus stroke minus. or I could have copied something, but that's okay. And here, that's going to be my backspace. Let's look for the sign of backspace. Okay, guys, with the backspace, I'm going to go straight into the code. Make sure the button is selected. I want to enter some codes in here. You see, right in here, there is the following. I'm going to say backslash U and F0E7. Okay, now the fonts here, let's change the font to, that will be winging. So that's, I guess I'm right. Yeah. So that is the font for that. Now there should be a G here and a D here, I think. Yeah, that is the font for it. Right. So this is supposed to be the text. The text should change to a box, to an arrow, and this is the font type. So let's go to design and see how that's going to look. There we go. That is it right there, taken care of. Okay, so that's fine. Now the next thing I would do is just select each of this button and enter the name for them. So that is BTN7. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for all the other buttons. I guess you guys get the whole idea. So let's speed that up. And there, guys, each of these buttons now has their own different names, as you can see, different variable name there and there. So now let's go right inside the codes. I'm going to scroll right up, and right underneath here, you see that's the project name, public class calculator, and here are that is supposed to be the J-frame, and this is for my text box. It's not asking me anything for button, so that's fine. So I'm going to come right in here and declare the following variable for the calculator. So let's say the very first one, I'm going to call that double. Let's call that enter number 1. Okay, that is my very first variable. The second one is going to also be double, and I'm going to call that enter number 2 text. Right, and another double that is going to be for the, now let's use string this time around. I'm going to come in here, change that to string, and for the string that is going to be operator. I'll just say operator. Okay, there. All right, I have operator. Now, where am I going to store 1, 2? I'm going to store them inside the operator or the results. Okay, let's create another one, double, and that is going to be result. Let's use uppercase. There we go. There. That is fine. Now I'm going to go back straight into my codes here. Okay, guys, and one other thing I need to do is, you see this text box, I haven't actually given it a name. I'm going to call that, let's say, JTXT display. Yep, that is fine. Okay, guys, let's take care of the numeric values. So I'm going to double click on number 7 here, and right in here I'm going to create a variable, string variable actually, and I'll call that digit. And for digits, I want digit to take in the following: JTXT display, whatever value I have inside my display. So I say dot get text, and plus whatever data I have on the button itself. So for this button, the name is btn7 dot get text. There we go. That takes care of that. Get rid of that comma. Right, now the next thing is we now want this JTXT display to now take in whatever value we have inside the digits. So I'm going to grab that digit itself and just paste it in here. But we then need to change the method to set and end it with semicolon. And that is that. So let's try that out. Run. There we go. 777 all the way. So that is easy. So let's take care of the rest. Copy that. Go to design, click on display, double click on number 8 and paste. All we then need to do is just to change the name to 8. And that should take care of 8. Let's go for number 9. Enter that in there, change the 7 to 9. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let's repeat the same thing for number 4. Paste, change the button name to 4. Number 3, no, number 5. Double click and come right down here, paste. Change that to 5. The value on it here, it is 5. 6. Repeat the same thing for number 6. Paste and change the button name to BTN6. Number 1 now. Repeat the same thing for number 1. Paste and change that to 1. Now we need 2. Change that to 2. 3, guys. Where's number 3? Number 3. There we go. Number 3 done. And let's repeat the same thing for the 0. Double click on the 0 right here. And there. I'm going to paste that and change the button name to 0. There we go. So let's save it first, and I'm going to try that out. Now, 9, you see that, and so on. So that's how easy that is. Okay, that's cool. There. Now let's take care of the operators, the plus, minus, and so on. I'm going to double click on the plus sign and right in here. So right inside the plus, if you guys can still recall my variable right up there, I call it enter num1. Okay, enter num1 is a double, so I'm going to say whatever enter number 1 takes in, so we're going to have to convert it to double. So let's say double dot pass double. And what are we passing? Whatever value we have inside our JTXT display. Dots get text. So that is it. And enter semicolon there. So whatever we have in here, we've now allocated it to enter num1, the variable. So we will now clear whatever we have inside the text box itself. Come right down here and just get that cleared. But you have to use set. Set text equals null. Yeah, we can go for null. That's fine. Now, what else? Then I also have an operator. In this case, the operator equals, I think that is what I call it, plus. Okay, and enter semicolon here. There we go. Now, let me just confirm the name of that operator. Operate, I'll call it operate. I think I'm right here. Yeah, that is right. So I'm going to copy those lines of code, or the lines of code, and let's go straight for subtraction. Right in here, paste, change the text in there to subtract. Let's take care of the multiplication sign, double click, repeat the same, change that to multiplication sign. The next one is the division. So let's go into the design, double click on the division, and right here paste that in there, and change that to division. So that's fine. Okay, so all of the operators are all taken care of, and let's take care of the plus minus now. That is it right there. I'm going to double click on that. There we go, right there. Now what I want to do with the plus minus is the first thing, let's declare the following, but it's going to be a double. So say double, I'm going to call it PM equals double dots. I'm going to pass whatever value in there. Let's say pass double, and what I'm passing happens to be inside my text box. So I might as well just grab all of this, copy that, and just paste it right in here. There. Now that is taken care of, but we also need to be able to convert it to a string value. So what I'm going to do to get that is I'm going to come back in here. Okay, let's say that very value, we say string dots value of the value of whatever we have in there. Okay, so I'm just going to grab hold of this. Let's leave that in there and just delete that, because I already have my, yeah, so that is that. So the value is inside my text box. Okay, else we will end up with an error. So I'm going to have to close that and enter semicolon. Right, now you see what we have in here. Now we now want to make use of that PM plus minus. I'm going to copy that plus minus, come right down here, paste. Let's say plus minus, that is equals plus minus, let's multiply that by -1. See that? Logically, that will actually add minus to whatever value we have. Right. Okay, so plus minus is missing here. All right, so we multiplied whatever we have inside this plus minus, that is the value in here, multiplied by -1, and what will happen is that will become a negative value. Okay, the next thing now is, you see this value that we now have in here is now a negative value, so we need to assign it straight into our display. So I'm going to grab the display itself and just drop it down here and change it to, because we want to set a value inside it, that should become set, and the value that we setting in there, I'm also going to convert the value to a string character. So to do that, might as well grab everything that I have in here, paste that in here, and we need to enter PM. Grab PM, I might as well type it out, PM, there, and let's come out here, enter semicolon. That's it, and that takes care of the plus minus right there. Okay guys, I guess you guys can see that, or let's just increase that. Go to Windows, edit, and yeah, maybe one more so that you guys can see it. Where is it? Windows, and there. Okay, that is that. That's the plus minus. Now I'm going to just run that. Let's come into design and run it. Run. Just to be sure that that works the way we want. 5 and just, yeah, there we go. Let's assume we want to add something. That goes, but we don't have the equals to take care of that. So most of what we're taking care of now is we need to take care of these 3 buttons and these 2 down here. So stop that. All right. Now let's take care of the, yeah, let's take care of equals. Double click on that. Right. And where is it? Come in here. Okay, with the equals, first of all, let me just grab hold of what I have in here. Let's go back in here. I'm going to double click on that. Let's just copy all of these. There. Back to my equals. Double click on the equals sign, paste that in here. And I'm going to change that to that variable number 2. If you guys can still recall, right up here, I have number 1, number 2, and result. Now, let's come right down here. Where is it? There we go. Okay, the next thing we now want to do is we're going to use an if statement to determine the operator that we have in there. Okay, let's say if operate equals the following, that is if it equals the plus sign, we now want the results to be enter number 1 plus enter number 2. Grab those, paste that in there, and enter number 2 semicolon. So change this 1 to 1. Okay, the next thing is we now want to display the results straight inside our text display here. So I'm going to say text display. Let's change this to string. So that is going to be string dot value of, let's grab this, yeah, whatever, and just change this one to results. I'm going to grab the results. So what I'm doing here now is I've actually converted the result to string character and it's assigned to my text box. Now let's save that. I'm going to run it just to try out the plus operator. So run that. And let's say 9 plus 8. There we go, guys. Look at that. That is fine. Plus another. Yeah, that's fine. That's working fine. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now let's take care of the rest of the equal sign. So let's do that by just copying everything in here, and I'm going to now use else if and paste. There we go. And if it's subtraction, that will be subtraction as well. Now let's copy it again. We use that for multiplication and division. There we go. This will be for multiplication, and this will become multiplication. Here is division, and that is division. So all the arithmetic operators are all taken care of. So you guys have a good look at that. Right, look at that. That's very smart. All right, so that's good. Take it from the top here and bring it down. Save and run. Okay, 3 multiplied by that is that. Plus 8. Okay, divided by 2. There we go. That's fine. Right, we now need to take care of 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons. So exit out. And let's go back to the design view. Now, let's take care of this decimal. Double click on the decimal. There we go. Come right down here. All right, let's start by entering as follows. I'm going to use an if statement. So let's say if not jtxt display dot get text. enter parentheses, and let's say dot contains right here. Double click on that, and what value are we talking of the decimal place there. So I'm going to come down here, open up a curly braces, and enter my statement in there. So I'm going to set the jtxt as follows. So jtxt dot set text, and what text are we setting in there? We want it to get whatever we have on the button, so paste that in there, plus btn dot, no, it's btn dot, I call it dot get text, and that's all there is to that, and that's it. So let's see how the decimal place works. So I'm going to run it first. Click on run. There we go. There, and enter 20 something, and there we go. Let's try it again. That is fine, guys. It's working. So that is good. Multiply that by 3. There. All right. So let's take care of these other ones up here. These 3 buttons. Okay. Exit out. Okay. Let's take care of the backspace. So let's double click on that backspace, and right here. First of all, let's create the following variable. I'm going to call that BS for backspace. Now, BS itself is going to, let's say the value in there is a null value. That's a BS. It has nothing. Now, let's use an if statement. If. So let's say if jtxt display dot get text dot length. Okay, double click on that. Dot length is less than 0. Now open up your curly braces. We now want the following. Okay, let's grab string builder this time around. I'm going to say string builder. I'll call that stb. That will be equals new string builder. Let's grab this, sort of typing all over, paste that in there, and the string builder is going to have the following values. Grab this, paste that in there, and enter semicolon out here. There we go. That is fine. So this string builder itself, now bring that down here. We want it to delete whatever. So dot delete, and what we're deleting is the chart at this following index. The index we're talking of is jtxt dot get. Paste that in there. Now we now need to say dot length -1. So I'm going to grab this and -1 from it. So that is what I wanted to delete. -1 semicolon. Now that that is done, let's get the BS now. BS, which is the variable I have up there, equals stb dot convert that to string. There we go, right there. And now the BS, we now need to assign it to my text box here. So I'm going to grab this, paste that down here, and we just change this to that and grab BS and paste it right there, semicolon. Right, guys. So let's try that out. Okay, let's just come in here, run. There we go, guys. Look at that. Enter value in there, and there, that's it, all gone. All right, let's take care of the clear. So I'm just going to maybe grab one of these. Right, copy that and come right here. Double click on, I think, clear in. Okay, let's clear this first. Come right down here, paste, and just clear. Enter semicolon there, and change this to S. So that will clear the text box. If we run it, this is what you guys will see. Clear. And just to show you guys how it actually works, this is very clear. So let's assume we say 9 multiplied by 8, and we clear it out, and we change that to 2, and that would be the answer, 18. So that means clear is working. What happened is it actually cleared the last value. Okay, now we want to clear all entry here. So to do that, let's go back in here, and we double click on that right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, let's clear whatever we have inside the text box itself, and I believe that is it. Yep, so let's clear that off. Right, and change this to S and clear in here, semicolon here. Now I'm going to create string NF, which means first number. Okay, let's say first number, comma, and second number. There we go. Those are my two variables. So fn equals the very first variable. So I'm going to say string dot value of, and that value is going to be that is going to be the first entry. Let's say enter num1. That is the very first value. There we go. This should be value of not that, change that. Okay, now I'm going to copy that, change that for the second one as well. That's SN. There we go. So this is for the second entry. Now, both of these variables, I will now have to clear them. Paste that in there and come right here, equals clear. So just answer that very one and repeat the same thing for the next one. Clear that as well, and that's it. So that is the technique or the method I'm going to use to clear the entries. There we go, guys. So let's try that out. Okay, now run. Enter the very first value. Let's say 83, multiply that by 5. We want to clear everything. And that's it, guys. So we can also just maybe try it out again, and there we go. Add 3 to that. There. And with that, I'm going to call it the end of this beautiful tutorial. It's very ideal for beginners. And suppose you guys enjoyed, and please do subscribe to my second channel, this very channel. And bye for now. You all have a nice day now.